Welcome to Redvee TV preview show, pre-Hull KR, post-Leeds defeat. We all came in really confident last week and it didn't pan out, did it? In the cold light of day, was it that bad?
It was a bad defeat because it was of our own doing. I think I say bad, it's probably more frustrating than anything because of the errors, the missed tackles, just the general way that we kept Leeds in the game by making a rod for our own backs, throwing wild passes out, not taking the right option going forward, not being as clinical as Leeds.
Yeah, I think we tried to cover it on a couple of articles that we put up on the website over the weekend. I didn't see anything from Leeds which made me think, do you know what, we've been beaten here by a better team. It was our poor performance more than anything else, and I think that's probably what will disappoint Justin Holbrook the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Without going all Phil Clark on us here, I've got some stats that were taken from, I think it was the Opta stats from this round. And errors, we made 18 errors during the game, which was 5 more than the next team down, and that was Catalan, who got nilled at all. Missed tackles, 37, which was 3 ahead of Leeds, who were in second place. So when you're topping them charts, you're always going to be looking at, have we done enough to win it?
So Leeds was second highest in the missed tackle count for the weekend.
Missed tackle count, yeah.
I know there was games called off, but I think we discussed was it the Huddersfield Hull KR game where we were saying it'd be like 2 tramps fighting in the gutter?
Well, that just proves us wrong.
Was that our game?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, even like the top 8 players who made errors over this round, I know, again, as you say, there's less games, but we had Thompson, Lomax and Tyre in that top 8. And we've only had 1 player in the top 8 in the first 5 rounds. So to have 3 in 1 round just shows that it was Saints' fault that they've lost that game. It's not that they've been blown away.
To be positive then,
yep.
Considering those stats you've just given us, is it quite amazing that we were actually so close and in contention for the entire game?
I think it shows kind of where we've come as a team, that because we were still in it, and when Ben Barber scored his try, for the first time in absolutely ages, I thought, hang on, we could win this game here. I mean, you go back to the Salford game when Matty Smith dropped the goal, and I think we turned around and we were saying, you know what, a couple of years ago you'd be thinking, we're going to win this, even though we're 22-8 down, and we didn't give ourselves a hope. But I know there wasn't that many points in it, but still you were thinking, we've got a chance here.
I think we blew it. After we scored our final try, there was 6 or 7 minutes left. And at that point, for me, we just needed to settle the game down a little bit, get to the end of that set, kick long, and you've shown there with the amount of errors that both teams were putting in, just force one on Leeds' line. Yeah. But instead we decided to start flinging it out wide very early in the attack counts inside our own half. Low probability, low percentage chance of scoring, and basically handed the ball over to Leeds to then go and seal the game.
Absolutely, completely agree.
Moving on anyway, Alex Walmsley. News came out this week that he actually fractured a bone in his neck. He's had it surgically repaired. The surgeons are very happy with him. Justin Holbrook said his neck will be stronger than before. I think best case scenario is going to be a few months out, so we hopefully get him back later in the season. I think we discussed it last week, didn't we? Best thing for us is just obviously that Alex is well and he'll make a full recovery.
Yeah, it's great to hear that his operation was a success, and obviously we wish him all the best in his recovery and recuperation. I'm going to go all Phil
with
Clark.
A young baby on top of his
chest. Yeah, exactly, in his Instagram post. I'm going to go all Phil Clark on you again in a minute here. I've seen people...
Stats.
Yeah, I've got more stats here. Yeah, not a boring Wigan. I've seen people turn around and say, our props have got to step up. Couldn't agree more. I've seen people turn around and say, some of our props have got to change the game. That's not going to happen. You're not going to turn around to a 30-year-old Kyler Moore or a 31-year-old Luke Douglas and say, you've got to play how Alex Walmsley does. What they've got to do
is play to
their best ability. I know, again, truncated round last time out, but the average gain per tackle since was second behind Salford. Metres made, we were 1 behind Warrington, who topped the chart. So going forward, yeah, we're going to miss that impact because he tires players. But hopefully we've still got enough that I know Holbrook said he's not going to bring anybody in. We've still got enough from the players who are going to get the shirts to kind of give us that platform and let the backs do the job.
See, I think for me this week, you're looking at Morgan Knowles has come back into the squad ahead of Ryan Morgan. So Knowles will probably make the 17. I don't like it, but it looks like Louis will probably move to prop. And we'll be a more mobile team. But I think over recent weeks it's shown we talk about, alright, yeah, top of the point scoring charts, but we get, like the Leeds game, when we get within 10-15 metres of the opposition try line, we need to be clinical. Too often we're taking the wrong option at the moment.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of criticism.
And that sounds bad, that, when you're top scorers in the league.
Exactly, there was a bit of criticism for both half-backs, I think, over the weekend. Listen, they're not going out to make mistakes. They're not going out to have bad games. It happens, and I think
there was still a moment of brilliance from Danny Richardson.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Lomax releasing Grace for Barber's last try. It was still there, and they're still obviously going to be finding their way as a partnership. Let's not chuck them in the bin just yet. Let's not.
And that's what I was going to say to you. You had a bit of criticism for Johnny Lomax.
Yeah.
Do you persist with him for now?
Oh, absolutely. I think he's earned that. That shirt.
The chance to have an off game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've got the options, and this is something I was thinking about in the car on the way down, because we've got the options, you can take him out and give him a bit of a breather. Like, obviously we've got Easter coming up. I would be very surprised to see Tommy Makinson and or Johnny Lomax play on that plastic pitch at Widnes.
I think, listen, flag in the ground now, Matty Smith will play instead of Johnny Lomax Easter Monday. I would be shocked if Johnny Lomax takes to the pitch. I'm Tommy Makinson.
I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Farge straight in at 6 and leave
there's your option,
7,
and then Ryan Morgan plays the Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which
gives them the chance, and he's absolutely brilliant. And this is us saying it as if we're going to have a full squad. We don't know. Hopefully, after Hull KR, we have still got a fully fit squad as much as we can have, and then go into the Wigan game. And yeah, I think he's going to rest some lads. He's mentioned Jack Ashworth as well as Matty Lees, who has got a bit of game time. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more of the fringe players, maybe named in the 19, especially for Widnes, but maybe they might not make it, but they'll be in and around the squad.
Looking at Hull KR, we won last time there. We didn't play there last season, obviously, because they'd been relegated, but the season before we won 31-22. We hadn't won there on the previous 8 occasions. Does that tell you what sort of bogey ground it is for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a bogey ground. It's almost akin to Huddersfield, where you go there and it's almost like a bonus 2 points.
Do you think the players just are in the same mood as us? I hate going there. How did I describe it last time? The arse end of the universe.
I call it the armpits of England.
Sorry if you're from Hull and you're watching this, but it's not a very nice place.
Well,
sorry.
You're almost in Belgium.
It makes St Helens look like Las Vegas, doesn't it?
Well, you're almost
very cosmopolitan.
Almost in Belgium, aren't you? But yeah, it is a bogey ground, and hopefully the mindset will have changed somewhat. That we did win there last time.
Can you ever remember going there when it being nice weather either? It's always freezing. It's always windy.
Yeah, I had a pair of glasses broke once when it didn't rain. And it wasn't windy.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was a good few years ago. That was when we thought Lee Gilmore had scored a last minute try.
Can you remember coming home from a game there sober?
No.
So the instant fan reaction on Friday night might be quite interesting.
I remember once getting in the bar along the side at half time with the local councillors, just because they had
the local Hull councillors or the local St Helens ones.
Local Hull. No, I didn't see Barry or Sevi or anybody like that though.
That's a shame. I'd have had a pint with Sevi, my mate. 3 weekly bin collections. That's a different YouTube podcast all along, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else to cover? Not much.
No. I think if we're going to look towards the game ahead, we pretty much know what the lineup's going to be, with the exception of, who's Knowles going to come in for? Will he come straight in for Matty Lees? Will he come in for Farge and go for a slightly bigger bench? You don't know. You don't know what he's going to go for. It's interesting to see. I think Saints will nick it. I'm going to be the Mark Lawrenson of Redvee TV and just back Saints every single week.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to one of the journalists pre-game on Friday night, and they basically said Saints will go into every game this season as favourites, which is, unless we go on a bad run, then we won't be. But yeah.
Well, I'm going to say Saints by 4. I think it'll be tight. Especially, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, if this wind's going to persist or if it's going to rain, but I think it's always tight up there. Very partisan home crowd, which is brilliant, to be fair. It's a terrible ground, but it's brilliant that they get behind the players as they do. I'm going to go Saints by 4.
I'm going to go by Saints by more than 20.
Wow.
I just think we're a much better side. I know we struggled against Leeds, but Leeds... there was nothing that impressed me about Leeds. Do you know what it is? They're a champion team. Doesn't matter what lineup they put out there, they keep it gritty, and that probably put us out of our stride. I think this week against a side like Hull or KR, who, with the best will in the world, haven't got the best quality of player. Again, I'm just fanning the flames here. I think we'll turn it on. I think we'll win by 20+.
Well, I was going to say the reason that I've gone for such a narrow margin is because of one player and one player alone, and that's Danny Flaming Maguire. He knows how to play against Saints, and if he can inspire them around him, I think they'll keep it tight, and Saints will nick it.
A couple of ex-Saints in the lineup as well, Mossy Masori.
Yeah, I always liked Mossy. I didn't get why he got bagged.
Adam Quinlan as well.
Well, yeah, just going back to Mossy, I liked how Mossy kind of took 4 or 5 players with him.
Madly, we could actually do him at this moment in time.
Oh, absolutely. But
as an impact
it's one of them that he probably was at the club at the wrong time.
The talk was that we were actually looking to re-sign him for this season as well, and for whatever which reason we didn't. How true that is, we don't know. But obviously he's ended up with Hull KR.
Yeah, and Adam Quinlan being involved.
Sorry, it wasn't Saints quality.
Well, I remember seeing on Twitter people saying, "Oh no, sign Adam Quinlan back at fullback." I was never convinced. Here's where he's going to score a hat-trick on Friday, but I was never ever convinced by him.
And do you know what? If we'd have signed Adam Quinlan to a 3-year deal, there'd be no Ben Barber.
Well, they'd have probably been jettisoned quicker than that.
Right, nice long M62 journey on Friday. Probably an even longer one back when they shut off the road. Yeah. We will see you post-match for instant fan reaction. Don't forget to give us your thoughts on the forum, on Twitter, on Facebook. There will be an article in the next couple of days from Alex Yoxall about half-back heartache and whether the club have actually solved it or not, as well as another pre-match written preview if you want to have a read of that. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will see you Friday night on Redvee TV. Oh, and next week we might be doing a joint one with the Wiganers. Dun, dun, dun. See you later.